everybody, how's it going? So at the end of July, the viewer BB FanFun inspired my very first ever fake drums challenge, stating he could get better results than my mix with samples and faster too. Of course, when I called him out on this, he vanished in a puff of irony, never to be seen ever again. So I passed the challenge off to you, the awesome viewers and subscribers of this channel. And you guys rose to the occasion. Several thousand of you rose to the occasion, to be exact. Now, for all of you guys who've been asking, will you still do the fake drums challenge, Glenn? Yes. I've been working on it all this time because personally reviewing every single one of your entries does take time. And I've finally made it through every single one. I'd like to extend a big thank you to my friends over at Kali Audio for offering up a set of LP8 monitors to the winner of this little challenge. And I'd also like to thank everybody who entered. And no, you will not be getting a participation trophy for the monumental achievement of merely showing up. Now, this contest opened my eyes on a number of issues. The first being that sample replacement is intended to improve the overall drum sound, not make it worse. Unfortunately, some of you guys didn't get the memo. For example, here's my original mix. And here's a few examples of how some of you made it better and yet managed to fail harder than The Last Jedi. Yeah! My personal favorite out of this bunch was one labeled "Samples Do Make Drums Better." Except in your case where you took a crushing snare sound and somehow made it sound like it was being hit with somebody's pinky finger. Okay, now before all of you freak the fuck out with the "you're a bully, Glenn" accusations, first and foremost, grow a pair. There's no whining in metal and nobody gives a fuck. Metal is about power, not complaining about how somebody didn't like your drum mix. Secondly, and this one is just as important, nobody will ever improve if they're constantly told what they're doing is good, even if it isn't. Takes time to learn what works, especially when it comes to mixing. And clearly, slapping any random sample on top of a well-recorded kit does not work, as evidenced here. Now, my suggestion to these guys would be try doing 5 or 6 different mixes with different samples layered on top of them, and then sit on them for about 24 hours before making a decision. That way you can pick your best one, because listening to mixes with fresh ears is always the best approach. Now, I'm not saying they're all craps, far from it. We did get some very good entries. Hell, even Jackson Ward, the guy who played drums on this, sent one in. Personally, I think it sounds better without them, but hey, that's just my opinion. Anyway, here's my top 4. Not bad, Luke. I love the attack on the snare. But as an 80s kid, even I wouldn't put that much reverb on a snare drum. If you'd backed it off a bit, you probably would have won. I really like the pop on the snare on this one. It somehow managed to remain natural sounding. Good job. This definitely sounds like a blend. It maintains the integrity of the original performance, fattens the snare up a touch, and doesn't go overboard with the click kick. And here's the winner of a brand new set of Kali LP8s, Jules, who played his own beat with an electronic kit. Since you're gracious enough to record a video performance as well, I'll run that with the original video clip and your mix in its entirety. Jules, great job, dude. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the cymbals, and the hat is definitely too loud in the mix, but I think this showed the most creativity out of the whole bunch. You changed up the beat a bit, altered the fills, and made it your own. The kick sits nice in the mix, and I really do love that tom sound that you chose. However, the snare does come across as more fake than a stripper's tits, but you left the flaws of your performance in place. The snare isn't snapped to a fucking grid, and honestly, I think given the choice, I'd rather hear some timing imprecisions with a sampled snare over the same sampled snare that's being completely sanitized by the editing process. There's a bit of push-pull in your playing, and I like that. All right, so thanks to everybody for entering. It was really cool, but it was a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. Sorry for taking so long. Of course, I'm always open to new contest suggestions, so if you have an idea, please leave a comment below. I'd also recommend checking out Jules' channel. I'll have a link to that in the video description as well as the end card. And Jules, enjoy the Kalis, dude. You earned them.